All right, we are well into March, about halfway through. So, what does that mean? It means that it's time for me to go through my February sales. Yeah, I finally had a little bit of free time to do this. So, here it is, and I'm going to do it. And today I'm going to try and be quicker. I'm going to not try and go off on a bunch of tangents or whatever because I've noticed that these videos are pretty damn long. So, let me just kind of get right into it with a summary. Um, this month, I had 45 sales. That's up a slight bit from my normal amount of sales. Normally, I have slightly under 40 sales. My lowest ticket item was $16.99, and I think I sold a couple of $16.99s. And my biggest ticket offer item was $125, and that was actually an offer, and I'm not sure what the offer was from exactly. I know it was less because normally I always go blah 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 99. So I know I took less on that particular item. When I get to it, I'll try and figure it out. In terms of how much I sold, my goal of like selling 2,000 a month on eBay. Well, today, I mean last month, I actually did it. Yay for me, confetti balloons. This is, I think this is the first month in this year when I did achieve that $2,000 or more mark that I'd like to do consistently and all the time at the very least on eBay. A lot of it's because of Marie's help in listing, and I've been trying to list more. I'm doing my best to list more. Flea markets aren't doing great, so I'm just hustling eBay as much as possible. When it comes to, I don't know if I mentioned I had one return, so I would have made about, I'd say I actually sold $2,189.10 with one return of $39.99. That was a perfume, and that means I would have sold $2,229.09, but I did not. Anyway, I did at the very least break my 2,000 minimum goal. All right, what did I sell? Started off pretty early in the month with my first sale, and it wasn't a big ticket item. It was $29.99, and what did I sell? Well, I sold a vintage faceted black glass bead coil, like a memory coil, wire choker necklace, $29.99. How long did I have that listed? Not very long. December 10, 2018. And that's one thing I've noticed. We've been selling more because we've been listing more. And a lot of the stuff that is selling is the new stuff that we've listed it. All right, $29.99. What can I tell you about it? Nothing. It was a jewelry sale, but it was keyword. The keywords were faceted black glass bead, coil, memory wire, choker, necklace. The whole title was just keywords. It was not signed, so that there wasn't any help selling it because it was signed. It just sold because someone needed that particular type of necklace. All right, our next sale was this vintage 12-karat gold-filled floating opal snow globe screwback earrings. I think somebody told us these sell well online. It could have been Thrift Hunter. Could have been Treasure Finder 20. I don't know. Somebody, I think, told me what they were. If not, then we figured it out on our own. I can't remember everything. $24.99. This was actually an auction. 7 days. One bid. What helped this sell? Again, it was not signed by any designer, so it was keywords. And here's some early advice in the video. eBay gives you like 80 letters for your title. My advice, use every single letter. If you think it's vintage, say vintage. If it's gold color, say it's gold color. If it's just anything it is, anything you could do to describe, to make, if it was shaped like a cat, say figural cat or shaped like a cat or whatever. Use all your keywords. It's very important. Oh, no, actually, I got $25.49, so that means I got 2 bids. a whopping 50 cents more than our original bid. They're nice, but again, imagine making $25 on this particular item at a flea market. No way, Jose. All right. My next sale. Perfume. Let's see how long I had this on. I had this on not that long. January 8th of 2018. And it was good till canceled. And look, it's Burberry London, sealed. Now, it was only a shower gel, but even though it's Burberry, I only got like $30 for it. But that's fine. You know, $30 for a shower gel. There's a good chance I thought it was a perfume when I was buying it. I'm bad like that. I don't look at everything I buy. And I'm pretty sure I had it sitting around the house for quite a while. But look, $30 probably cost me about $8 to ship. Hopefully I didn't pay more than $10 for it, which there's a good chance I did. What made this sell? It was Burberry. People like Burberry. All right, on to the next item. Here's something that I like to buy. These enamel paintings. I like the small ones the best because they're easy to ship, but I do buy the big ones. I don't sell them very often. One of the artists that does sell for me is I believe it's pronounced Jean Lucy. It could be Jean, but it's a man with a woman's name apparently. But he's listed. He's well known and respected. And basically, it's an enamel on copper frame Lady in the Woods painting. I like these paintings. I buy them. They are popular. They sell well, but they usually don't sell for a lot. I actually got a lot of money for this one, and it's small. So I imagine that his name, Jean Lucy, helped it sell. Let me see if I can find the size on this. Yeah, it's like a 4x5 inch enamel painting in a 6 by 7 inch frame. So it's small. I actually saw one of these some time back, and when the lady got it, she was like, I didn't realize it was so small. She was all upset that she paid $92 for it. I'm like, it says it in the description. And I said, look, send it back. I don't care. I would relist it. But she was like, nah, I'll just keep it, you know. And she, because I showed her it was listed, she didn't believe me. She was like all indignant, like I'm a bad guy, but I'm not. All right, so anyway, how long did I have this listed? I had it listed for a while. September 24th, 2015. That's the thing about art. It's very personal. Whoever buys it is going to hang it on their wall for probably the rest of their life. So it just doesn't always sell well. What usually helps sell art is the name, and after that, subject matter. Or subject matter, and then the name. Doesn't matter. All right, here's my one sale that wound up being a return. And this is a Ralph Lauren, The Big Pony collection, #1 Eau de Toilette Spray. I had it for $40, and I thought it was reasonable, and it took a long time to sell. March 10, 2015 is when I listed it. And what happened is my price wound up being the lowest when it did sell. But then when the person got it, they said, hey, this doesn't smell right. I think it's fake. But they said, whatever, I'll just keep it. And I was like, no, send it back. Because I didn't believe them, and I thought they were fishing for a partial refund. But they sent it back, so I took it back, and now I don't know what to do with it. Either I'm going to use it or give it away. But because they said it's fake, I can't relist it, and I'm not going to, you know. That's the thing about perfumes, especially when you list new stuff. Every once in a while, you'll get something that isn't legit, or the person will say it's not legit. That's why I prefer as old as possible, antique type fragrances. All right, on to the next item. That's the one item that I had to return this month. All right, here is a vintage hand-signed Lee Wolf 68 modernist geometric necklace with a silk cord. We had a hard time finding the signature on this one. Got $50 for it. Let's see, when we listed it, January 29th, 2019, so not that long, and it sold pretty quickly, I guess. Let's see, February. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, February 3rd. So that's, yeah, whatever. I'm $49, $49.99, 2 bids. So this was actually an autumn auction. It's not autumn. It's not a time of the month item. It's an auction item. $49.99, 2 bids, which means We probably started at $49.99, and the person that was bidding on it got nervous and bid twice. That happens a lot. Anyway, signed jewelry sells, simple as that. We actually had a similar looking piece at the flea market that we realized was probably by the same artist, so we took it home and we put it on eBay. At the time, we were trying to get like, I don't know, $5 at the flea market, and nobody would go for it. So now it's on eBay for, I think, 30. All right. Oh, wow. This game. I bought this game a long time ago in Florida. September 21, 2017. My daughter played it through. She enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I played it a little bit. It was fun, but I don't have time to play games. I'm busy. You know, I got stuff going on. September 21, 2017. Couple of years. Had it. Like I said, bought it in Florida. I was at whose store? I was at one of the shops, and I was talking to one of the sellers, and he passed on the lot, and the guy that was selling it, because it's most of the games in the lot were BS, and the guy that was selling it cheap, but I was like, oh, I can sell BS stuff at the flea market, or I can use it for throw-ins when I sell consoles. So I was like, I'll take it, and he gave me a good price. And it turned out that there was a gem in there, and this was the gem. $60, $59.99, a pretty damn good sale on a game that probably nobody knows or has ever heard of. I'm trying to think who it is, but all right, on to the next sale. Here's something goofy. My mom gave me this. This is a vintage Bonwit Teller silver plate elephant bottle opener signed Micah, M-I-K-A, $35.99. Ridiculous, right? But it was signed. It was hallmarked. Somebody wanted it. Whatever. You got to look stuff up. Pretty much everything now. Prices fluctuate. They jump all over the place. And a lot of times it's the dumbest item that will sell for you. And in my opinion, this is a dumb item. I got it for free. My mom gave it to me. But now if I go to yard sales, I'm going to start looking for figural bottle openers. They seem, especially the vintage ones, they seem to sell for, I don't know, 15 and up. All right, this thing. And I got a happy customer on this one. I sold this a while back at auction. This is a 14-karat gold over resin, which means it's not gold. It's not solid gold, right? Over resin, Mylar, Italy chain link bracelet, magnetic clasp, 8 1/4 inch. I sold it for $74.99. Now, look for Mylar jewelry. It seems to sell. They usually make silver. And this is probably a QVC type item. Oh, and in my title, I was like, okay, what happened was I sold it originally to a dum-dum that was like, this isn't 14-karat gold. I think I sold it for like 50 or $60, right? And I don't remember what I paid for it. But I sold it like cheap. We thought it was worth about 75 to 100, but this one actually had problems. So I when I relisted it, I said, but anyway, the dum-dum goes, this isn't solid 14-karat gold. And again, I'm ripping her off, and I'm like, look, all over my description, blah, blah, blah. I stretched it out, but I did refund. And what I did was I told her, look, I don't care, send it back, because I'm going to raise the price and stick it on eBay, and then I'll sell it, and I'll get more money, which is exactly what I did. I got it back, and it even had wear that I didn't see. So if it didn't have the wear, I would have made it more expensive. But because it had the wear, again, I made it $75. But I wrote 14 karat, not solid gold, because of this idiot in big caps. Gold over resin. And then I said, yeah, the glass is marked 14 karat resin. It's not gold. Because, you know, I assume if there's one dum-dum, then there's a lot of them out there. But this is one of the times where I was like, ha! Showed you. You know, I don't need you to buy my stupid bracelet for $50 or $60. I can make more on it, and I did. All right. This item is a vintage signed Judith Jack sterling silver marcasite choker-style necklace. $125. We probably had it for $160. I remember getting a reasonable offer. That's why we sold it. It was listed for a while. February 5th, 2017. And at the time, I was like, yeah, at $125, I'll take it. Judith Jack jewelry sells. Her gold stuff, big money. Her silver stuff, I can give you an example. I once bought a whole bunch of her sterling silver rings at a sale. I paid $35 a piece. This was years back. And when I went home, I saw that they were selling like anywhere from 35 to 75, and I was like, God damn it, right? So I was like, screw it, I don't care. I'll just list them for 75 a piece and let them sit. And that's why putting stuff on eBay is a game of patience. So I did that. I had about 6 or 8 rings or something like that. And people kept saying, I'll give you this, I'll give you this. I was like, no, no, no. I waited, and I sold every single one. I don't have any left. And I got my price. I just waited for the people that marked it cheap to sell their stuff and go away, you know? Prices go up on eBay. It's like the stock market. Prices almost never go down anymore. It's too much work for people. But just remember that name, Judith Jack. She's an important designer. I think she's mostly well known from the 90s. All right, here's my next sale. Origins Ginger Essence Sensuous Skin Scent Spray, half a fluid ounce, 0.5, 15 millimeters, and it was only 85% full. Still got $20 for it. Had it listed not long, few months. So, you know, nice sale, I guess, right? Perfumes. I like perfumes. Nothing I can tell you about it other than I put it on eBay and I waited for the person to need it, buy it, and then I sold it. All right, moving on. Next sale. Fenton Art Glass Cranberry Opalescent Hobnail Perfume Bottle with Stopper. The story behind this is I bought 2 of them at a JC sale. Didn't pay a lot. I think I paid between $5 and $10 a piece for them. I knew they were old. Didn't know how much they were worth. I figured they were worth at least $35 to $45. Turns out they were worth more. I sold one with way more damage for maybe $45 or so. This one, the stopper had damage, which I put in big red letters. The stopper is as is, and that it has chips and cracks to the plug part, and check a bunch of photos. But I still got $75.99. Didn't have it listed long. Like I said, December 2018. People like Fenton Glass. Look for Hobnail. Look for Cranberry. Look for Opalescent. They always do well. All right, here's my next sale. Vintage Nintendo 1990s Pokemon Jigglypuff Adjustable Silver Tone Ring. This is a tiny little dinky ring. I got $15 for it. I took these to shows, conventions, flea markets all over the world, and nobody bought them. So I finally gave up and said, I guess I got to put them on eBay. I did it about 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago. November 10th, 2017. And I only had to wait that amount of time to sell it for $15. That's the value of eBay. If I could have sold it at a flea market for between $5 and $10, it would have been sold. I wouldn't have put it on eBay. Value of eBay is, just put it on and you wait, and there's a good chance that eventually it could sell. Oh, and I believe I sold this to the same person. This is a vintage official 1990s Pokemon Jigglypuff choker necklace, and I got $19.99. The good thing about that was I do free shipping, so they pay me for both items, and I shipped them in a box together, and I made some extra money on the shipping. All right. Next item, vintage Chinese cloisonne enamel loving cats section pill box. $19.99. At a flea market, $5 to $8. Don't know if Maria even bothered toting it around at the flea market. She listed it February 3rd, 2019. It was an auction, 7 days, and it sold. I don't know why it sold. I guess it was just keywords, vintage Chinese cloisonne enamel loving cats. She said that she doesn't see a lot of stuff with cats. So $20, 2 bids. Again, same person, got nervous and bid twice because I'm positive we started it off at $19.99 and it didn't go up anywhere from there. Another cologne. If you can remember the name Fabergé, when it comes to fragrances, it's almost always good. Especially this Babe one. Every time I get it, it sells. Let's see how long it took to sell. Not too long. November 19, 2018. Just a few months. Decent sized bottle. Did my research, decided it was worth $42.99. Fabergé. If you can remember that particular name of cologne, it's usually good. And even the small bottles are worth, I don't know, 15, 20, and up. Okay, my next sale. Let's see, we're at the 11th, so we're 1/3 through the month. Okay, here's another item. This was signed JBK. JBK stands for Jacqueline Kennedy, and I think it's Bouveau. I don't know. That was probably her. I believe that was her maiden name, Bouveau. JBK, and I don't know why Marie didn't put it in the title, but JBK Jacqueline Kennedy gold tone necklace with ruby red and clear rhinestone pendant. It sold for $62.99. It was a good till canceled listing. We probably ran it to auction at about $50 and it didn't sell. Maybe at 60. I don't know. We listed it. This particular listing was December 2018 and didn't take very long to sell. Try to remember, JBK stands for Jacqueline Kennedy Jewelry, and it usually sells decent. Well, it's not really old stuff. It's just pretty, and for some reason, people like it. I think some designer or something like that took all her jewelry and started remaking it. You know, they made copies of it in the 90s or early 2000s. I don't know. Again, I think it was QVC stuff. All right, here's another piece of Fenton glass. I sold it for $50, which means I took an offer. I believe I had it for $62.99. That seems about right, that in my head. I put it on in May 2018, so it took less than a year to sell. And $50. It's just a nice bowl. I don't know if it was marked on the bottom. Let me just check quick. It was an older one. It doesn't seem to be hallmarked. Fenton started hallmarking their stuff, I believe, in the 70s. The thing about Fenton is antique and new Fenton sells. People just like Fenton. Whenever I see it for a decent price, I try and pick it up. Not so much the Silvercrest stuff. That's not a big deal. It's the Carnival and the art stuff, and usually the ones that are painted, the ones that they were selling on QVC again, I guess in the 90s and early 2000s, like cats and anything painted, you can usually get like 30 and up for. All right, people like Fenton. That's all I can tell you about that. But I have been listing more glass and unusual items. But this is jewelry. This is a vintage modernist brutalist signed AD, and Marie was able to figure out what the AD stood for. It was Americana Andreas Daub pin, and I guess that's Andreas Daub was probably the artist's name. $28.99. Not a lot of money, but it was a small pin, as you can see. And this is the kind of pin at the flea market. If it did sell, we'd probably get like $10 at most. Signed jewelry sells. That's all I can tell you from that. All right, here's something that was sitting on my shelf for years, and I was too lazy. I knew it was like I'd have to take a bunch of pictures, and I wasn't sure in the artist, so I kind of thought I knew who it was. I did a bunch of research, and I knew it was going to be expensive to ship. But I finally, years later, got around to listing it, and it sold very quickly. I had started at February 8, 2019, and it sold within a month, probably a couple of weeks or less. Schurich, whatever. West German orange, gray, fat lava, mid-century art pottery vase, and it had some numbers on it. Got $100 for it. The thing about this is it probably cost me I'm almost positive it cost me $20 to ship because I think it went to California. And that's the thing about bigger, larger items. They're expensive to ship. The post office is killing me. Last year, I did my taxes, right? And I didn't even sell. I sold like maybe 18,000 in items. And I do free shipping, right? And my shipping costs were over $3,000. I'm going to just say $3,500, right? So that's like 15% just on shipping. And then eBay fees are 15%. So, I don't know. That's why I don't like shipping heavy stuff anymore. My next sale is a very small and light item. Back to perfume. Did I say perfume? I meant jewelry. All right. This was a signed Eddie Borgo gold tone black onyx open-ended ring. Really a very pretty ring. Good to cancel listing. listing. October 29, 2018. Wasn't listed very long. We ran it to auction, didn't sell. We just had to wait to find the person to buy it. $28.99. It was signed. Moving on. Signed jewelry sells, people. All right, my next sale. Vintage cloisonné hand-painted porcelain amber bead necklace with elephant pendant. Not signed. But this was actually, if you look at it, it's actually a really cool necklace. And just had to wait for the person to find it. We needed somebody who wanted a cloisonné necklace with an elephant with amber-colored beads, I guess. $82.99. A lot more than we would have got at the flea market. Couldn't get $20 for it. We had it out. So, that's the second part of signed jewelry sells. Unsigned jewelry sells too. You just got to get the right keywords. Keywords so important. Use those 80 letters that eBay provides, and write a description. Tell people how big stuff is. That makes it more comfortable with buying. All right, this thing was teeny. This is a vintage 1982 signed MMA, which stands for Metropolitan Museum of Art B Insect Bug Pin, $24.99. That's a lot of money to get for something like this, and we were happy to get it. We just put it straight on eBay. It was a good till cancel listing, which means we ran it to auction. Nobody bought it, and it sold. We started it in January 31, 2019. Wasn't even listed long, and that's what you see. You list a lot of stuff on eBay. We've been listing a lot of stuff on eBay, and when we list a lot of stuff, we seem to sell 20 to 30% of whatever we list fairly quickly. And we do a lot of auctions, so you just got to keep putting stuff on. Put it on every day. Get more on. Just have 1 million items, because if you have 1 million items every day, you'll sell something at the very least, or a bunch of items. Next item, Givenchy Organza Indecence Eau de Perfume Spray, 1 fluid ounce, 30 millimeters, 65% full. Got $52.99. This was sitting in my basement for quite a while, but I did list it November 5th, 2018, and it sold fairly quickly. And wasn't a lot in the bottle, and I only had about 2/3 of it. So 2/3 of an ounce, $52.99. Hey, Givenchy, right? Everybody knows that's a good name. Doesn't mean it's always worth a lot of money, but at least it's a good name everybody likes and is looking for. Here's some World War I and World War II U.S. Army patches. I had a lot of these. They were Western Defense Command Tank Destroyer Cloverleaf. I was able to figure them out. Did a lot of research. Figured they were worth from $10 to $20 a piece. Put them online, $32.99. Had them on for about a year. July 16, 2018. No, actually, not even that long. July, about 6 months. I know I bought these in the summer. Patches can be good to list, and they don't take up a lot of room, and they're light to ship. Okay, next item. Cerruti Image Eau de Toilette Natural Spray, 3.4 fluid ounces, 100 millimeters, 85% full. Just a perfume. I listed it in February 6, 2019. Sold rather quickly. Sold the same month. Might have even sold the next day. I had 1 or 2 things. Oh, you know what? Looks like I took an offer for it. Because I have it for $75. February 6, 2019. Hey, whatever. $75 for a Cerruti Image. My advice with perfumes: buy vintage, buy unusual, avoid Avon, avoid new stuff unless you're getting it dirt cheap, because there's always the chance it could be bootleg. Don't buy new stuff at flea markets so much if possible. Older the better perfumes, larger the better, fuller the bottle the better. And that's all I can think of right now. All right, artist signed Fenton Pink glass hand-painted flowers, J. Peyton, sleeping cat. See what I'm telling you? A little kitty cat, a little glass cat. I got $35.99. Ships first class, maybe $4 or $5 at most. $35.99. If you see these little things, $5, pick them up. You can probably pay up to $10. And at $10 you're safe. All right. And again, Fenton glass. People like Fenton glass. Vintage, antique, European, 835 silver vermeil filigree bracelet, 7.5 inches. $29.99, 2 bids. Same thing. It's like 2 bids. $29.99. That's what we started off for. One person bid. They got nervous that someone else might bid. They bid again. Then nobody fights over everything. What sold this? Keywords. Vintage, antique, European, 835 silver vermeil filigree bracelet. Keywords. Use them all. Fill up that title with your keywords. More jewelry. Vintage red faceted glass bead choker length necklace. Again, keywords, and people like facet. You got, they're looking for the facet. This was a vintage. Marie seems to believe that everybody likes choker length necklaces. Red is an unusual color. Normally this stuff is black or crystal. So whenever she sees red for reasonable, she tries to pick it up, just because there wasn't as much of it made, and it sells. Even if it doesn't sell for a lot of money, $25.99 is decent, because say she paid $5 for it, shipping $5, eBay fees another $4, it makes like $10. All right, moving on. All I can tell you on that one is keywords helped it sell it. All right, more jewelry. Vintage gold tone Estee Lauder bracelet with perfume bottle charms. $29.99, not bad, right? Estee Lauder, it is signed jewelry. If somebody likes perfumes and charms, that's what helped it sell. 3 things. It was Estee Lauder. It was perfume bottle charms. Perfume bottle and charms. That's what helped it sell. All right. I think I'm going kind of quick this month. I'm trying to just go through this quickly, not take forever with this stuff. I still have like, I don't know, 15 more things to do, but let me just try and hammer through this. All right. Not a lot of stories this month. Vintage gold tone peaking glass pin pendant with faux pearl and flower design, $16.99. Not a lot of money, but it was a small pin. $16.99 is better than nothing. Not signed, but it is a kind of glass, peaking glass, and it was a cameo design. It was pretty. People liked it. $16.99. That's one of my lowest ticket item sales this month. All right, another piece of jewelry. Marie sells more than I do, and at least in the quantity of sales. Maybe not always in the amount that she makes, but here's a vintage Aurora Borealis aqua rhinestone open back pin brooch. $28.99, not bad. More than we get at a flea market. Maybe about the same if you remove the fees that we pay for eBay. But basically, somebody needed an aqua rhinestone open pack pin. They saw this one, they liked it, and they bought it. And that's why it sold. How long did it take to sell? Not long. November 28th, 2018. All right. Next item. Vintage Italian Murano multicolored glass cabochon book chain belt necklace. I actually thought that Marie started this off a little low, but whatever. We got $31, 2 bids. She said some of these sold for way more, but they were nicer ones, and I guess she just wasn't really confident on this one. I don't know. I think maybe I bought this. I don't remember. Or I pointed out to her. Maybe she bought it. Doesn't matter. Keywords helped it sell. Just Murano, basically. It's not signed. It was vintage, and it was kind of cool looking. She called it book chain and cabochon. I guess she figured somebody could use it as a belt or a necklace. For a skinny person, a belt, not for a lot of people, but $31. And I was able to ship it first class. I was worried that it might be too heavy, that I'd have to ship it for 10. So at $31, it would, I meant for like priority. I'd have to ship it for priority, and it would be like 10. All right, next sale. Here's a perfume that didn't sell for a lot of money, But if you get it for $1, hey, put it on eBay, $1 or $2. And it's a name that you would think wouldn't really be worth too much, but it is kind of vintage. It's Taboo by Dana Perfumes, and it's a Eau de Cologne Splash. It was 2 ounces. Got $20 for it. I don't know what I paid for it. I don't believe I would have paid more than $3 for something like this. $20, shipping $5, say. If I paid $3, $8, and eBay fees, I probably made like $10 on it. Whatever. It was easy. Couple of shots. Quick description. Again, if you get it for $1 and you're cool with not making a lot of money on each sale, buy that stuff. All right, here's a vintage mid-century modern brutalist silver tone choker length necklace. Wasn't listed very long. Good till canceled, so she ran it to auction. It was listed from February 12, 2019. $29.99. She probably started off at like $28.5 or something. What helped it sell? Well, people like brutalist designs, so that's probably it. I mean, mid-century modern brutalist. That's about it. And again, it was another choker necklace. So I think I think she said people like choker necklaces and they're selling. All right, next item. A vintage DA, which stands for David Anderson. Very good designer name. Big money. 925 sterling Norway black and white enamel necklace. It sold for $249.99. Didn't get an offer or nothing. Someone found it and just paid up. Oh, and you know how I said that my biggest ticket sale was $125? I was wrong. It was this, $249.99. Love selling big stuff like that. When did we sell it? We had it listed March 9th, 2017, so a couple of years. A couple of years it took to sell, but boom, that's what happens on eBay. You just put the stuff up there, you go on with your life, you do different things, and you sell other stuff, and then one day somebody sees something expensive like this and says, "I'm going to buy it," and they do, and then you make a lot of money. All right, David Anderson. Anything DA David Anderson is almost always good. His stuff sells like 30 and up for the very teeny pins, and up to big money. All right, next sale. Vintage Venetian, Murano, Millefiori, green art, a glass bead necklace bracelet set. I don't know. It's kind of nice bracelet. The beads were pretty. Obviously, Millefiori. People like Murano. People like Millefiori. Maybe somebody needed the color green. Listed from July 9th, 2018. So not that long. 6 months. $84.99. Probably got a little bit more than we might have got because it was long. And also a necklace and bracelet is always nice to find in a combination. Again, if you can afford to pay up for this stuff and then wait 6 months, a year or so, do it. Because, everybody likes Murano, especially the vintagey stuff. They're like hand-thrown or handmade beads. So, All right, my next sale is a perfume. Marc Jacobs Daisy Eau de Toilette Spray in a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle. Coty Prestige, 90% full. Got $29.99 for it. Nothing I can tell you. People somebody just saw it. Said, hey, the price is good. I need that fragrance, and I'm going to buy it off this guy. And that guy was me. All right, next sale. Mid-century modern sign. Burkhart Handerbait. Art pottery candy nut dish bowl. The story behind this particular bowl is that I had it for years and years. I took it to Rutherford Street Fair. I took it all over the world, basically. Flea market, stuff like that. And it had a flaw. It had like a little dink in the handle. I'll show that. Otherwise, I would have got more for it. But I finally gave up. I said, you know what? Because I was going through boxes of stuff I had. I said, I'll just put it on eBay. Who cares? At least there's a chance it'll sell, right? And it didn't take very long. I don't know if I said it already. February 6, 2019. And I listed it in February, February 6, 20. Oh, no, start time. It's February 6. But it sold in February. Listed in February, sold in February. I was really surprised. I was like, oh, my God. It sold, finally. Somebody bought it. They got it. I have had no complaints about the damage. And again, I wrote I wrote a big red. I'll show you what I do. I wrote big red letters. The Burkhardt serving dish bowl has 2 cracks in the glaze on the handle. Check photos 2, 3, 4, and 5. These cracks do not go through the handle, only in the glaze, and I have shown multiple angles so you can see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, blah, 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 it's good. All right, but that's the story behind this one. I had it everywhere. I might even have, I don't know if I put it in the showcase, but I had it everywhere, and nobody would buy it. So put it on eBay. Even not perfect stuff sells, in case you didn't know. All right, another piece of Fenton. See, I sell a lot of Fenton, but I know what Fenton looks like, so I always just, a lot of people are like, is this Fenton? Do you think it's Fenton? I pretty much know what most Fenton looks like. And then it's easy when it's signed. But this one wasn't. Vintage Fenton Spiral Optic Cranberry Opalescent Ruffle Fan Top. 6 1/4 inch vase. I don't like paying more than 15 or 20 for this stuff. So I probably did. Was it listed long? Nope. December 14, 2018. I probably got it in Florida, maybe, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, is what I would say if I didn't have some kind of mini stroke, or I was like, what am I saying? Fenton glass again. I don't think it was signed. It was an older piece, but Fenton made a lot of that cranberry, and they did a lot of those designs. I don't know if you can. Buy Fenton glass cheap and put it online, as my advice on that. All right. We're winding down. 5 more items to go. Here's again, antique Italian micro mosaic bracelet, hallmarked Italy, $82.99. Normally I don't get that much for micro mosaic stuff. I was able to in this particular instance because it was just really nice. It was an older one, You don't see the old ones a lot. The old ones go for more money, especially if the mosaic is really nice, And this one was no problems. Again, we probably ran it to auction for a lesser amount, and when it didn't sell, we put it on eBay as a buy it now. How long was it there? Kind of a long time. October 27th, 2017. But if you and I've said this before, you can't pay a lot for this because it doesn't always sell a lot. A bracelet like this, maybe $20. Because again, that $20 you invested, if you go by how long it took me to sell it, that $20 invested isn't gonna will most likely not come to fruition for at least a year plus. Right, but again, micro mosaic jewelry. That's what it looks like, and it does sell. Price ranges for the newer stuff, small pieces, like 15 and up, I'm going to say, on eBay. So if you get it for $1, like even the new pins, and you get like 12, 15, get little lots of them. People, I think I said I'd gone to the Wayne Pal, and one person had bracelets for $60 and pins for 20. So that's about as much as you'll get, unless it's an amazing design or unusual. All right, next item. All right, this was just a kind of cool necklace, if you look at it. What helped it sell? Marie's amazing keywords again. February 25th, 2019. It was a good to cancel, which means she put it to auction and it didn't sell. She probably put it to auction $25 or $30, and when it didn't sell, we just made it $31.99, which is $32. Of course, it did ship first class, so that's good. Saved a lot of money. What made this sell? Somebody saw it, liked it. Keywords: vintage, mid-century, modern. Very important for people looking for mid-century modern. I think this is probably 70s. I don't think it's 60s. I think it's 70s. And then the colors, colors, and she threw in the keyword tassel. But again, non-signed jewelry can sell for good money. You just got to make sure you choose the right keywords, and it's not a piece of junk, that somebody will like it. All right, you can sell soap on eBay. And again, this was a lot of Fabergé soap. 2 Tigress, a straw hat, a wood yew, aphrodisia, 5 assorted Fabergé soap lots. These are all signature vintage Fabergé fragrances. And these were the soap versions. that you could wash your parts with. $38.99. Did I have it listed long? Yeah, a couple of years. February 25th, basically a couple of years. No, make that more. 2016 is when I started it. So that would be 3 years to sell soap. I don't know. I don't think I could have sold this at the flea market. I think everybody would have been screwing with it. It's part of my eBay plan. I'm in it for life. Kind of like the prison variation. I'm doing life, eBay life, you know. I list stuff 10 years ago, it sells. I list stuff soon, it sells. I'm never getting out of eBay, you know. Like, I'm in it for life. All right. 2 more items. Not very expensive items. Vintage sign. Let me lick my lips. I think they're getting dry. Sarah Coventry turtle pin with let me do that again. With secret compartment. Shh, don't tell anybody. $16.99. Whatever. $17 for this little turtle pin. Most people wouldn't have noticed the secret compartment at the flea market. It's rather small, about a little bit bigger than a quarter. Hopefully she didn't pay much for it, and it ships obviously first class, $16.99. Again, if you're happy with not making big money on eBay, with selling items for small amounts where your profit margin is less than 10, go for it. Again, we didn't have this listed very long, September 18th, 2018. So the one of the things that helped it sell obviously was Sarah Coventry. Maybe people collect this particular piece. Also, the fact that it was a turtle helped it sell because people like turtles. All right, last item of the month, signed jewelry. J. Crew, chunky, clear, sparkly, faceted, rhinestone, silver tone choker necklace. You know what? This was just a pretty necklace, and the rhinestones were pretty big on it. I don't think it was old at all, but we still got $29.99. Good till cancel, which means we probably had it for $25. Started January 22nd, 2019, so it wasn't listed very long. And that's the thing. You can run something to auction 50 times if you want. But a lot of here's the weird thing between auctions and buy it now. Most people that are buying on eBay, especially if you start your auctions around what it's worth, don't want to wait. It's like instant gratification. They want to just buy it now. So if it doesn't sell at auction the first time, and you kind of know what it's worth, don't keep rerunning it to auctions. It's very annoying to buyers who just want to buy the thing. You know, they don't want to buy it, wait a week, wait for you to ship it, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you know what it's kind of worth, just buy it now. You know, it's much easier. If you're not sure, or if you want to start like low and hope that people will fight over it, then do auctions. Anyway, that's it for this month. The big lessons learned are probably my usual lessons. Signed jewelry sells. If the jewelry isn't signed, then take nice photos and use the best keywords you can think of. I like listing perfumes. You can list them too. I don't know. You have to ship them ground. Old ones sell best. Be careful buying new ones. Don't mess with Avon. People like Fenton glass. So if you can become familiar with what it looks like, they like the antique stuff the best. Silvercrest isn't really a big deal. Just be careful because the bigger it is, the heavier it will be to ship. But they do like new Fenton. I don't know. That's it. I am happy this month that I was able to break the $2,000 mark. I'll end it on a preview of how I'm doing this month. How am I doing this month? Well, all right, today's the 14th, so I'm halfway into the month. And I've sold $1,000, $1,029.81. No returns so far. Let's see. I have a bunch of small ticket items. Yeah, mostly 50 or less. But I do have one big ticket item that I sold for $160. And I'm not going to spoil it for next month. I'll just say it was a perfume. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you did learn stuff. And I am basically out of here until next month. Goodbye.